Today we're gonna make these beautiful, delicious Greek traditional cookie, Melomakarona. First step in making our Melomakarona is to first we're gonna make our syrup. So our syrup is 1 1/4 cup of water, 2 cups of sugar, and 1 cup of honey. So we're gonna cook this until our sugar dissolves. And then we're gonna let it cool so that we can get our cookies made. The key for all of these Greek cookies that we've made before, when we make baklava, when we do halaktoburiko, when we make all of these cookies, you always want either the syrup hot and the cookie cool, or in this case, we're gonna do the syrup cool and the cookie hot. So that's why we'll make our syrup first. Now that our syrup is cooling, we're gonna get ready to make our cookies. So I have lined 2 baking sheets with parchment paper and I preheated the oven at 350. So first steps over here, we have 2 cups of olive oil. So in a nice big bowl, I'm gonna put 2 cups of olive oil. I'm adding a 1/2 cup of cognac or brandy. And I'm gonna add a 1/2 cup of sugar. And I'm gonna whisk this together just so that the sugar can dissolve. When you're whisking this, you could see when the sugar's dissolving, you could see that it's actually soaked up all the olive oil. So now you're ready for the next step. You wanna make sure that you get all of that well incorporated. Now we have 1/2 cup of orange juice, and I'm gonna take 1/2 tablespoon of baking soda. And I'm gonna add that to our orange juice. I'm gonna put it right on top of our mixture. Okay, you're gonna see that fizz up. See, fizzy. So I'm gonna add that to our mixture. And then I'm gonna add orange zest. So we're gonna do orange zest of 1 orange to this. Perfect. Next, we're gonna take our dry ingredients. We have 5 1/2 cups of flour right here. So to our dry ingredients, we have 5 1/2 cups of flour. We have cinnamon and cloves. So I'm gonna do 3/4 of a teaspoon of cinnamon and 3/4 of clove. Toss this together. Okay, perfect. So now we have dry and wet. All ready? Now for this, we're gonna use our hands. So I cleaned my hands, no rings, all my jewelry's off. And we're gonna add our flour slowly to this, and we're gonna do it with this hand, and we're gonna mix it together. So I'm just mixing it just gently with your hand, and I'm gonna slowly add the flour. This cookie, you don't wanna use a mixer. You really need to just be gentle with this and get all of the olive oil to soak up the flour, and you'll see it's a delicious cookie. It's actually not that hard. Just gotta prep all the ingredients. Now we're just gonna fold the flour in. You don't wanna overmix this. We're just gonna fold it until we have all of the dry ingredients incorporated, and then we're gonna be ready to make our cookies. So now we're ready to make our cookies. So if you have a small scoop, that would be helpful so that you can make them all the same size. I have a serving spoon here. I wanna see the right size here. So if this is a serving spoon, that is about the right size of our cookies. So we're gonna take that, we're gonna roll it circle and then oblong. like that. It's great to use a measuring tool so that way you can have all your cookies the same size. So I'm rolling out all my cookies, and I was telling you before about a measuring tool. If you have a scale, a kitchen scale, another good tip would be for this recipe that I gave you, measuring out 1.5 ounces of the dough, and then that way all your cookies will be exactly the same, and then we're gonna roll them out. This gives us exactly 3 dozen. So now that we've rolled out our cookies, exactly 3 dozen, we're gonna use a fork, and we're gonna do it just a little bit. You're just gonna pinch the top of the cookies in a three rows like that. And then this, we're gonna do this right before it bakes. And what this does is it also helps when you put it into the syrup, it's gonna help the syrup soak into the cookie. So, and it has a little design too. So we'll do that. So now we're popping them in the oven, 20-25 minutes at 350. While our cookies are cooking, now we're gonna make the topping that's gonna go right on top of the cookies after we put them in the syrup. So we're gonna do walnuts, cinnamon, and sugar. So this is 2 cups of walnuts. We're gonna put in our food processor. We're gonna do 1 teaspoon of cinnamon and 1 tablespoon of sugar. We're gonna mix this up. That's it. So now our walnut, cinnamon, sugar mixture is ready. I'm gonna put this in this bowl here. So when our cookies are ready, we're ready to assemble them. So we've taken our cookies out of the oven and they are actually hot still. You can see the nice, beautiful golden brown color on the bottom. And we have our cooled syrup. So I have an assembly line here, our hot cookies, our cool syrup, and our walnut, cinnamon, and sugar mixture. And so I'm going to take our cookies now and I'm going to drop them in the syrup. You can use a spoon if they're too hot, but you want to drop them in. They need about 30 seconds on either side. You want them to soak up, or you could just drop them down. You want to soak up the syrup. Perfect. So we're gonna let them soak. So it's funny, this is a traditional Christmas cookie. You know, every Greek family makes this one. My mom used to make tons of these. She would make them ahead of time and store the cookie part, this cookie, and store them earlier in December and right before she was about to, you know, give them as teacher's gifts or to other family or whenever we had people over, then she would drop them into the syrup. So in that case, you would have a cool cookie and warm syrup. But these are always a delicious cookie to have around and they smell amazing. So we're gonna take these out. I'm gonna leave them on the cooling rack here. And I'm using a slotted spoon to take them out of the syrup just so that I don't waste any of the syrup. So I'm just gonna repeat this until I have all the cookies on the baking sheet. So now that we've dipped all our cookies, I'm gonna take our cinnamon, walnut, and sugar mixture and put it right on top. Oh my goodness, these look amazing. And you can of course serve these without this on top if you have any allergies at home. I have, these cookies are not staying in my house today because my kids can't eat these, but they are delicious. Now we're officially ready for Christmas. For the full recipe, visit nikkikleckis.com, and don't forget, like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, and check out my Amazon store for some of my favorite products.